once you've finished putting together the first stage of your project, which is pretty much getting in the tasks, their durations, getting the basic relationships down, you might want to print this out, maybe make a PDF out of it, or just print it out on paper, give it to your boss or whoever is above you as far as, or whoever is of interest to know about your project and get an idea what's going on initially. So what we'll do here is we'll get the screen to look the way you want it to look. In other words, right now, if we went to go to print this, all of these columns and all this will print out. If you would rather maybe only have up to maybe just the project name, or the task name here, and not show any of this, then what you can do is you can actually drag this border over like that. All right, and then you can kind of double click it to get it to be just perfect, and then you can scroll this to where you want it to be. Now once you've done that, what you're going to do then is you're going to go ahead and click on the file, and then we'll click on the print, and there it is. So that's exactly the way we had seen it. Right now it's going to try to occupy 8 pages. That's because it's a pretty big, pretty lengthy project as far as time goes. So if you look at clicking onto this multiple pages, you can get an idea of what it's all about. Now, this is something you go ahead and you print it out on paper, and then you can put it up on your wall and kind of piece it together if you'd like. If you'll notice, a lot of the room is being taken up by this legend. It's like on every page. So what we can do is maybe see if we can reduce it just by getting rid of the legend. So we can go over here to page setup, just like that. We go over here to the legend tab, and it says legend on every page. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to say, well, how about a legend just on the legend page, right? Just one page. So if we do that, go ahead and hit OK, then you'll get that. So you get like a legend page over in the end there. Now if that looks a little hokey, what we can do instead is go back to the page setup. We'll tell it that we can have it on every page. Hit OK, and then go back and try to squeeze this into fewer pages. Now let's try number 1, going back into our page setup, and you can see if you go over to the page tab here, it's kind of like Excel, where you can actually tell it how many pages wide by how many pages tall. So if I just if I leave it on this is going to be pretty tight here, but we'll start out with maybe 2 pages wide, and we'll make it, let's say, 3 pages tall. So it'll basically chop off the bottom there, right? So if we just do that, hit OK, there you go. A little bit better, all right? If you want to push it a little bit more, we'll go back in there and we'll make it 2 pages tall. Hit OK, and there we go there. That's not too bad. That could probably pass. Things are getting kind of small here. Now, if we try to fit it on 1 page wide by 1 page tall, go back into page setup, and we say 1 page, or actually we'll keep it 2 pages wide, but we'll make it 1 page tall. Hit OK on that, then you've got that. And then for the ultimate, you could go over here to page setup, change it to 1 page wide, 1 page tall, and there you go. Now currently we're using just letter size, 8.5 by 11 paper. You can go over here to where it says letter here and change that to legal, get a few more inches in there. And if you have a tabloid size printer, which are, I don't say they're rare, but you don't find them too much, you can go with tabloid, and tabloid basically is 2 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper side by side. All right, so you click on the tabloid, and there you go on that one. So tabloid would look pretty good if you had that printer. And since we don't, let's say we maybe just have legal, we can go that route and at least have that. The other thought too is you're printing it out on paper, what you can also do is print it to a PDF. So if we, like right now, if I were to have this print to, you know, one of my printers here, let's say this one here, okay, it'll print out on one sheet of paper, you know, legal size paper, that, all right. Now, if you instead were to go and change this to Adobe, now if you've got the Adobe program, you've got the full-blown version in your system, you know, loaded in there, you would have Adobe PDF, all right. If you don't have that, you'll at least have the Microsoft Print to PDF, and there you don't really need the Adobe program for that. So you can click onto that there, all right, and then you just go ahead and hit print. It'll ask you for a name, you know, and you can call it, you know, whatever you want to call it, and you can specify where you want to print it to, or save the file to. We can go to just desktop, hit save, and that's it. And it creates it for you. Now, what'll happen, I'll just show it to you real quick here. The icon was saved to my desktop, but I got 4 screens here, so there we go. All right, so that's it. And then you can attach that to an email or do whatever you want to do with it, right? Oop. All right, so there it goes. So hopefully that that helps as far as printing. Pretty easy thing to do. You just kind of run into a little trouble when you've got a much larger project to print out. Now let me just say one more thing. If what you want to print out might just be a small chronological section of your project, maybe just the first month or two. If you wanted to do that, what you do is you click on a file, you go to print, and then over here where it says the dates, it's going from basically 3/3 to 6/4. So I can change maybe this to, just bring that back down to, let's say maybe we'll just go to April 1st. So basically, just basically March in essence, right? So if you do that, now as you can see, there's a little bit of a bug to this, because we shouldn't be having to print out the labels here for the other tasks that aren't even in this date range. All right, so it's really kind of a goofy thing here. So, and I don't know if that's a bug or what, but here's how we would get around it. All right, we would get out of here and we go over to the View tab. All right, and over here in the filter, it says no filter right now. We'll click onto that, and we would specify date range, and we specify what we want to start with. So let's just say the project starts, I think, on the 5th. So March 5th. So we'll click onto here. We'll choose March 5th, just like that. And I'll give it a little bit of leeway. I'll put on March 4th there, just to get a little bit of an edge there. All right. So from March 4th, hit OK through, and we'll just say April. We'll go through to April 30th. Okay, so we'll do a couple months there. Okay, and then we go ahead and hit OK, and now that will just have that much. See, so like half our tasks are in there. So now we can go back into File, click on to Print. All right, and now I'll also get the this thing in here, entire project. Okay, so there it is. So the entire project, even though we've only specified that range, so it's looking at that being the entire project. So this is what we have over here. All right, so it goes down to task 47. Well, if we go back into File and hit Print, you can see, we can get down there or not, yeah. So you can see it's 47 there. All right, so that's how you get around that mess. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Got a little troubleshooting action in there as well. So hopefully this will help you, and you'll be able to use this when you're working with the program on your own. Take care. Appreciate it.